He's been an award-winning media personality and producer. As a speaker, he's empowered over 1 million people from the stage. Now one of the leading business coaches and brand experts is taking over the world of on-demand audio. It's the Business Bully Podcast. Now here's the business bully himself, Dave Anderson.
It's time to bring on our speaker. He tore it up yesterday. He tore it up the day before that. Sometimes you need a little kick in the pants. Well, he kicked and stomped on us, so he ready to do it again today. I ain't going to keep doing this intro because the man has done everything. I mean everything in media. He is showing you how to make your business grow, how to make your business pop. He's here again today. Give it up one more time for my man, Mr. Dave Anderson. Dave, welcome back to the show.
Man, thank you for having me. I'm so excited. Mic check 1, 2. Want to make sure you can hear me loud and clear. Are we good to go?
We're good to go, my brother. Take it away.
All right. So we have gone through a very, very enlightening and abusive week. I can't say that I have not enjoyed myself because I'd be lying. I told you I'd get off on this. On Monday, we talked about the diagnosis. On Tuesday, we talked about the prescription. Now I want to talk about recovery. Because recovery is a completely separate process, but it is important in order for your business to thrive. Now, there's some things about me that most people do not know. Most people do not know by looking at me that I am technically, physically handicapped. You see, in 1999, I was 21 years old, going on 22, and my university had built this really, really nice basketball stadium. And they decided to cut a few corners, and one of those corners wound up being that they put in bleachers, and one of those bleachers that they put in was at the top of the stadium. I'm telling you this for a reason. So I stepped down with my youngest cousin who had never been to a pro game, let alone a college game, and I'm taking him to his first game, and he steps down and he gets to his seat just fine, and I'm stepping down, and the stair on the bleacher was not screwed in. And because it wasn't screwed in, it flipped over on me, and I began to tumble, and I fell 2 stories. The good news is I did not break a bone. The bad news is I have nerve damage all on my left side, from my foot, ankle, knee, groin, lower back, shoulder, and neck. The doctor said that I would never walk normally again without the usage of a cane or a walker. And the arrogance of me, there's a certain thing called healthy arrogance, and I had plenty of it. The arrogance of me said, I'm not doing that. Look, I may be big, but I'm way too good looking to be walking around here with a cane like I'm Mike from Boyz II Men. It just wasn't going to go down. You was not going to Tiny Tim me. And so what I did was I lawyered up, paid some tuition off with that very nice settlement, and then I found the best physical therapists, the best doctors, the best nutritionists I could find. And in 6 months, I operated at about 93% of what I used to be. You know, if you pay attention and you watch me long enough, you'll notice that I walk with a very slight limp, but I don't walk with a cane. It might take me a little while to get up, but I'm still able to function pretty much normally. And if you've ever seen me on a stage, you know that I am nothing but energy. I bounce around, and for a big guy, I'm very, very limber. Not only did I recover, not only did I prove those doctors wrong, but I went on to become a professional wrestler, and I wrestled for 2 years. So my recovery was more important to me than the actual act of buying the ticket, the actual act of going to the game, the horrible nightmare of falling. My recovery saved me from, living my life in, the condition that you would be able to tell that I'm handicapped. Now, the bad news is anytime it rains, anytime the wind blows a little too tough, if it gets really cold, I get very, very stiff. And because of my nerve damage, there are times where literally I'll be standing there and all of a sudden I buckle and fall. That's going to happen for the rest of my life. But on average, I live a really active and normal life. And that's all because of my recovery. So here's what I want to impart to you. Many of us are betting on the wrong horse in our business. I know you don't believe that because you believe that your little doohickey widget thought process is the greatest doohickey widget thought process ever known to man, and I hate to break it to you, but it ain't. Some of you are in a situation where you're afraid to give, and because you're afraid to give, you don't get. If you walk around someplace like Amazon's Whole Foods, and yes, I said that right, Amazon's Whole Foods, you will find that about every 10 feet, there's somebody willing to shove a sample in your face. And the reason that they do that is because if you like what they have, and they're betting that that you like what they have, you're going to go buy what you just tasted. And then when you get it home, it's never going to taste quite as good as they did it in the store, but yet it's still good enough for you to feel like you're justified in buying what it is you bought, even though you didn't come in there for that. You didn't come in there for samples, but because they gave you value and because they gave you service and they got you on the product. So you can learn a lot, not just from Whole Foods and Amazon's Whole Foods specifically, but you can learn a lot from drug dealers. Drug dealers first usually give you a sample to get you hooked. And then when you come back, that's when they hit you. But what we tend to do is we tend to be info Scrooges. Now, if you're familiar with Charles Dickens' classic, The Christmas Carol, you will find that Scrooge was a very miserly man. He was cheap. He never met a penny that he couldn't pinch. He hated people, and he operated from the place of, I'm not going to give anybody anything because if I do, all they're going to do is take from me. This man turned down giving part of his income to the poor because people would be cold and die, and he said, let them die. That will help decrease the surplus population. And you wonder why the surplus population of your business has decreased? It's because you are an info Scrooge. You're holding back information, and that's hoarding. You're a hoarder. And your hoarding is not only stupid, it's unnecessary and ridiculous. Allow me to retort. Information is everywhere. If you know me, you know that there are literally hundreds of hours of information that I give freely on my podcast, that I put on YouTube, that I do Facebook Lives 5 to 6 times a week. I'm constantly giving out information. I will literally do a speaking engagement, and I like to get through it as quickly as possible so I can spend more time on Q&A, because I do this thing called the Bully Hot Seat, where business owners will come and they'll sit down and they'll tell me their business, and if I can't turn their business into a 6-figure business in the time that we're there, I send them to Cancun. I have yet to give out in the past, because I've only been doing this year, in the past 45 speaking engagements, I have never given out one trip. Because I understand that the information is there. And people say, well, Dave, why in the world? Isn't that counterintuitive? Isn't it counterproductive to just give away the information? No. See, many of you play the information game. That's how you make your money. I don't play the information game because it's a sucker's bet. It's limited in the amount of money you can get, because I can then turn to the internet and use my Googles, many of which you guys are allergic to, but Google is good for you, because if you make your money on information, you're going to lose. The money is not in information. The money is in implementation. The money is in execution. Now, some of you probably still think I'm lying. Let's examine some things, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to tell you some very obvious facts that you automatically know. Whether we've had a conversation, whether you've never heard of me before or not, I guarantee you know these facts. Fact number 1, cigarettes cause lung cancer. There is no one listening to the sound of my voice who does not know that smoking cigarettes can cause lung cancer, and that secondhand smoke can cause it quickly than firsthand smoke. I'm going to give you fact number 2. Drinking and driving is a deadly combination. There is no one within the sound of my voice who does not understand that drinking and driving sucks. It can kill you or someone else who's just walking across the street minding their concocted business. I'm going to give you another fact. Fact number 3, eating junk food makes you fat. I know this one firsthand. So if this is common knowledge, why are there still people smoking cigarettes? Why are there still drunk drivers? And why in the world am I fat? Because people don't pay attention to information. People don't pay attention to warnings. So all of that great knowledge that you have is okay, but effectively useless if you cannot capitalize on implementation. The average person thinks that all people want is this great information that I have, and honestly, they can get information anywhere. Information is like air. Oh, there it is again. It's all around you. People want value, people want execution, and people want solutions. I want to say it again. Value, executions, and solutions. If you cannot deliver that, you are dead in the water. Now, one question that I always get a lot of are skills. So I'm going to have to tell you something that's going to hurt your cartoon feelings. Brace yourself in 3, 2, okay. Skills that you have. 90% of the skills, the certifications, and the education that you have will be completely obsolete in 15 years. I didn't drop off the line. I just paused for a second because I need you to hear that. 90% of the certifications and skills that you have will be obsolete in 15 years. I will give you an example. When I was a kid, everybody said, oh, you should go be a doctor. You know, you can make a lot of money being a plastic surgeon, because in the 1980s, people were being specialized in plastic surgery. And so everybody who became a doctor in the 1980s was running the Beverly Hills or running the California or running the Miami. You know, and they were, when I say California, I mean L.A., they were running to L.A. and Beverly Hills and Miami to become plastic surgeons, to give people nose jobs and butt lifts and boob jobs and so on and so forth. And so what wound up happening was that over time, everybody started doing it. And so the market became saturated. So nowadays, and by the time I got out of school, there were a bunch of plastic surgeons making the same amount as a pediatrician or a general practitioner. That's why when people say, oh, I need to send my kid to school and they need to learn STEM, by the time your kid if your kid is 10 years old right now, in the next 7 years, by the time they get out of college, that STEM job probably is going to be obsolete. Hate to break it to you. By the time, let me put this in another way so I can break this down. By the time it hits the news or the hood is talking about it, it's already too late, people. It's already too late. Everybody was running around here 6 months ago talking about Bitcoin this and Bitcoin that and Bitcoin this and Bitcoin that. Like, all these Negroes became Bitcoin experts overnight. And when I said it's a bubble that's going to pop, and all these people talking about I got $42,000 and they all lost everything short of $4,000, all of a sudden, all these Bitcoin experts just started drying up because the money ain't in the Bitcoins, it's in the blockchain. But conversation for another day. If you don't innovate, you die. Again, you might think that I'm blowing smoke, but I'm trying to teach you the importance of innovation. Innovation is clear and critical to your recovery. If you think I'm blowing smoke, as Whitney Houston said to my former mentor, Wendy Williams, I can hear you saying to me, show me the receipt. No problem. In 1999, when I got out of school, I became the youngest regional credit manager for a retail giant. I had myself a very nice office. I managed about 500 people, and I was on top of the world making an exorbitant amount of money for someone my age. Now, before there was Amazon or Target or Walmart, there was a giant named Sears. That's who I worked for. Couldn't tell me nothing. I was making bread. Sears is a 126-year-old empire that survived World War I. They survived World War II, the Great Depression, but Sears could not survive the speed of innovation in the marketplace right now. See, Sears, as we speak, is filing Chapter 11 and closing another 142 stores, affecting thousands of workers. They didn't listen. They did not cover their assets. They thought because they had always been here that they would always be here. The only always I know are feminine products and a song by a now defunct band named Atlantic Starr. There is no always. There is no always. Allow me to continue with these here receipts. In 2016, if you want to scroll down my Facebook timeline, knock yourself out, it's right there. In 2016, I predicted the fall of Toys R Us and everybody laughed. Until 2018 when it happened. I said in the beginning of 2018 that Facebook as we knew it was going to die and be forever changed by no later than November 19, 2019, and everybody laughed until Cambridge Analytica happened. Then Zucks sat before Congress and said to Congress, go back and watch it. Fact check me. Zucks went in front of Congress and said that there would always be a version of Facebook that would be free. Then everybody realized that the model was changing. Zucks is cleaning house. And as a result, you, who are so reliant and so at the teeth of Mark Zuckerberg and other social constructs, while they're a necessary evil, and I know that they're important for business, they should not be your primary source of controlling your audience because it's false control. I'm going to continue to provide receipts. A couple of years ago, there was this website called The Shade Room. And The Shade Room had amassed over 4 million followers on Facebook. And one day, Zucks, no quicker than a Thanos snap from Avengers 3, said, boop, pressed the button and destroyed their entire Facebook page. Taking their followers with them, did not give them an information other than saying that they violated terms of service. And those 4 million fans never came back. Just yesterday, Media Takeout, one of the most popular, quote-unquote, and I hate the term, urban gossip sites, had their Facebook page destroyed. I am saying this to you because in order for you to recover and for you to thrive and for you to bounce in a way that's going to leave you more resilient, you're going to have to count on yourself. 15 years is a long time, but it's real short, and a lot can change in 15 years. Allow me to give you some receipts. I'm going to give you some names. Facebook, Twitter, the iPhone, the iPad, the Kindle, 4G LTE technology, Android, YouTube. Oh, my goodness, I got so many off the top of my head here. AWS, blockchain, Uber, the App Store, Bitcoin, Square, Flipkart, Stripe, Spotify, Dropbox, Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Pinterest, Kickstarter, Messenger, Box, Lyft, Quora, Hulu, Nest, Fitbit, all did not exist in 2003, 15 short years ago. The times they are changing, and wise people change with them. So, dang! What's the solution? You're always stating the problem, but what's the solution? The solution is you got to get on the offense. See, the thing that I see a lot with black CEOs is that they are so busy talking about how much of a CEO they are that they forget to prepare for war. And make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, this is wartime. And in order to not only win the war, you have to be able and prepared to survive the fallout. And I'm going to tell you a story that's going to shock you. $10,963. $10,963 is exactly what I paid in technology, innovation, tools that were going to allow me to grow my business, automate myself, and put myself in a position to win and control my audience. Zucks could take out my Facebook page today. I can lose, like YouTube went black yesterday. YouTube literally went dark yesterday and people lost their mind because, well, their whole empire was on YouTube and they didn't know if those servers were going to recover. If I lose the 2.5 million viewers I got on YouTube today, I will be just fine because I've got the list. And because I have the list, I don't worry about where my next check is coming from. Because I have the list, I'm not worried about, what's going to happen in the marketplace. Because I have the list, I am able to combat anything that comes my way, rain or shine, all the time. I am covered. So, let me be specific because there's some of you who are saying, well, I've got an email list. Yeah, but you only market to them once a month, if that. And you don't provide them any value. What most people do, and if this don't apply, let it fly. But what most people do, because this is all I do. All I do all day, I specialize in building black businesses. This is all I do. Most people will, how can I put this? Okay, I can't be nice about it. Most people will sit there and neglect their list and not build it up and only talk when they got something to sell. Everybody has a come around Jimmy. you might not know what a come around Jimmy is, but I'm about to break it down to you. Come around Jimmy is a person who only comes around when they want something. Only come around when they need something. Hey, let me borrow $5 so I can get some gas so I can get to work. Hey, yo, let me borrow a cup of sugar, man. You know, I'm trying to make a cake. A lot of you are come around Jimmy's posing as black CEOs. I said it. I meant it. Don't mean to regret it. A lot of you are come around Jimmy's posing as black CEOs because you're so concerned with having your little itty-bitty sale that you never stop to innovate, let alone provide value. If you do not make your customers feel valued and wanted, they're going to find somebody else who ain't a come around Jimmy. And you will be gone. You have to not only innovate, but you have got to be like Beyonce in 2006 and start catering to people. And you've got to nurture that list. I email my list at least once a day. Not only that, let me stop. That's a lie. That is a lie. I apologize. I caught myself in a lie. I email my list at least once a day, but I also text my list. Do you want to know why I have an email list and a text message list? Because when you have a text message list, it's different. If you got let's say a 60% open rate on your email list, you're a rock star. You're balling out the gym. But text messages are opened at 95% on the low end and 99% on the high end. Get their cell phone, you have them. The majority of business transaction, entertainment, life is lived on their phone. People would rather lose their keys, their wallet, their birth certificate than lose their phone because their lives are in their phone. Hell, in some cases, their brains are in their phones. So you have got to make sure that you do not neglect the list. So, like I told you, I spent well over $10,000 last year trying to innovate. And then I talked to my accountant. She was like, why are you spending all this money when you could just go do something? And so that's what I did. So in April, I flew out to San Jose, California. Why is that significant? Because San Jose is where the Silicon Valley is. So I went out to the Silicon Valley, pocket full of money, and I found some programmers. And I took those programmers and I told them exactly what I wanted. And I wanted to create something that was going to allow me to grow my list without me having to do much work because I ain't got time. And so we started putting our heads together, and I was out there for about 10 to 15 days. And I noticed a few things while I was out. The first thing I noticed was that I looked like a raisin in buttermilk. Wasn't a whole lot of us out there because a lot of us are allergic to tech. I don't know why. Probably, like I said, fear of caveman syndrome. I don't know. But I noticed that there weren't a lot. And the question I kept getting asked was, where are all the black men? And I said, I don't know. There were a few black women out there, so shout out to the sisters. But it wasn't a whole lot of brothers. You know, so when I showed up, people were like, really? I'm like, yeah, really. Run this. And so I created something with the help of a whole lot of techie people called Viral Bully. And what Viral Bully does, it's not anything you haven't seen or heard before. It's just something that most of you don't practice. It allows you to give people something of value. And for them to actually receive something of value, they would have to share what it is that you're giving of value. And when those people get it, then those people share what you have of value, and then everybody unlocks it. All the while, you're collecting their email list and their phone number, their likes and their dislikes, and you're able to communicate with them at the speed of innovation. And a lot of people have similar tech, but well, mine is better. And not only that, every month, I roll out a new piece of technology. It's all cloud-based. It's all very user-friendly, and it comes with 24/7 customer service. Why do I do this? Because I'm sick of black folks being at the back of the technology bus. I am sick of us marching and screaming and yelling that we can't make it and we need a leg up and we need help. And y'all keep looking to the hills, which comes to your help. And I went to the Silicon Valley and said, yo, while y'all was in the hills, I'm in the Silicon Valley giving you the help that you need. And so because I love black CEOs so much, I've created Viral Bully. And Viral Bully is something that is well worth the $10,000 that it cost me to innovate, it's well worth the $50,000 I put in to create it, and it's well worth a whole lot more than I actually charged for it. But for less than you would pay for a pair of shoes or a good meal every month, you get access to cloud-based software that will not only develop systems, build your email list, but revolutionize your business absolutely every month without having to worry about a learning curve. You can go right now for the Black CEO price of $97 at viralbully.com, and Viral Bully will definitely change the course of your life. So I flew from Silicon Valley, and the first person I called was the only person I knew would understand why I went on a mass exodus to California. I called Trevor Ott. And Joe said, Dave, you know how Trevor, Dave, Dave, we got to do something. We got to do something for the people. And I said, all right, man. I said, I'm going. And this is why Viral Bully what it was. He said, man, you always come up with these great names. I keep everything brand consistent. So Viral Bully is here for you. But even if you don't take advantage of Viral Bully, which I don't understand why you wouldn't, I want you to stop being digiphobes. I want you to stop banking on giving people information, and I want you to stop hoarding your ability to help people. The more you help people, the better off you are. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of a 72-hour mugging by yours truly. Back to you, Barrett.
A 72-hour mugging. I love it. I love it. Hey, guys, look. Dave dropped some more nuggets on you. He hit you hard. Hit you right in the face. So, and he said he ain't apologizing for it. If you have a question or a comment for Dave, what I want you to do right now is hit *2. Hit *2 right now, and we're going to come to you and get your question or comment. We're going to give you 30 seconds to do so. Lakeisha Williams, we're going to start with you.
What's up? All right. Good morning, Dave. This is Lakeisha Williams, and I really don't have a question, but I'm glad. I wanted to make a comment because I'm glad that you had a conversation around getting your content on your own platform, and it's funny because my son came to me this morning and it was like YouTube went down. I'm like, what? Like I wasn't even aware. So I think that people underestimate the fact that we are relying on these platforms that can diminish and it can literally go away at a moment's notice. And so I love the fact that you said that, you know what, I still invest in my list and I still invest in text marketing. So that's awesome. And congratulations on your new software as well. But if you guys that are listening didn't catch that, you better go back and listen to the replay because that right there is a huge nugget. So thanks for sharing with us for the last 3 days, Dave.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. I'm absolutely honored to just be here and be able to feed my people, man. I love being Black and I love being a Black CEO.
And we love you, Mr. Anderson. This is Marsha White again. Good morning.
Good morning.
You said something early on. You said the money is not in the information. It is in the implementation. And so for those who may not be, because again, I've always got a heart for the fledgling entrepreneurs, which we have a lot of in this tribe. If they are not, we talked about systems yesterday. How can they implement some of the, points or strategies that a viral bully would address? And I'm not trying to undercut you. Please don't misunderstand me. Mm-hmm. But for those who are tech, look, I'm learning to play with tech in the same sandbox. We still ain't besties, but I'm understanding the reason why I need it in my life. But for those who aren't either financially positioned or scared to death of tech, and maybe not ready to make the investment in a viral bully, congratulations on that, as Lakeisha said. You know, what can they do to start down that road so they can position themselves to support you and other innovators in that field in terms of getting their implementation off and running?
Let's take Viral Bully off the table. If you're broke, it's completely flat broke and in business, I don't understand that. But okay, we've all started somewhere. I get it. If I had zero money and I did not have Viral Bully, which is $97 a month, which is cheap from what I should be offering from it, my account will kill me. But let's just say that I don't have $97 a month, which is $25 a week. I would go and get myself a MailChimp account, because your first 2,000 emails are free on there. I would then use their email gate on my Facebook page. I would use it on my website, and I would give away a package around 60% of what I had to offer for people one time to get their email address. And then I would constantly market to them, how are you? What can I do for you? What do you like? I would ask them what they need from me in order to grow their business, what they would like to see from me, as a producer of content or a producer of products or services. So that's where I went.
Good deal.
That's where I would go.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Go ahead, Marsha.
I'm sorry, Beard. I was just going to ask a follow-up. How often do you recommend, as they're building their list? Like, I have a list, and I've learned now the importance of regular contact with them. So we're not what did you say, a come-around Jimmy?
Come around Jimmy.
How often, never heard that, but know a few of them. How often would you say for, beginners, should they start with their, reaching out to their list?
Every day. You eat every day. You bathe every day. You see, people have this, and black people, I'm going to be honest, gloves are off. I thought I was done fighting, but apparently my knuckles haven't been bloodied enough yet. Black people have this thing. I don't want to bother people. I don't want to spam people. Blobbity, skippity, bop. Let me tell you something. You know how the gym trainer will tell you pain is weakness leaving the body? You leaving my list is weakness leaving my list, because you're not my ideal client. Because if I were to come to you every day, Marsha, and I were to just give you value every day for about 15 minutes, would you tell me I'm bothering you?
Nope.
Take care, comb your hair. Every day.
I love it. So Dave, well, first of all, anyone out there, if you have a question or comment, get it in now. Hit *2 right now. Hit *2 right now, because we're going to wrap up in a minute. But Dave, I want to ask you about the people that you deal with. You mentioned something. I don't know that they caught this. You said that you are working with people, and if you cannot help turn their business to a six-figure business within the time that they're talking to you, you're going to send them to Cancun. How does that program work, my man?
Well, the good thing about being broke is that it gives you a perspective. And you begin to understand the importance of partnerships and relationships. So I have partnerships with different resorts all around the world. I've got partnerships with a partner resort in Cancun. I've got a partnership with a partner resort in Thailand. I give them because, I'm not being funny when I say this, but I need to paint a picture. I'm not the Dave Anderson I was last year. I'm not the Dave Anderson I was 2 years ago. This David Anderson had to level up. And this Dave Anderson plays at a different rate. And so when you have $12,000, $15,000, $5,000 a month packages, you need to give folks some incentive. And so if I'm sending you to Cancun for a week on my dime, and the cost of the trip is more than the cost of the coaching that I'm giving you, even though that coaching is going to lead you to a certain amount of money, then yeah. But I am that skilled. Humbly stated, I am that skilled and I am that confident that in 42 speaking engagements, I have yet to give away a trip.
That's amazing.
And if anybody wants to step up right now and bring me their problems, I am happy to put it down. My hand to my God, my hand on my Father's urn. Let's go.
I love it. I love that. So, Dave, before we wrap up here, I want to make sure that I give you the opportunity to let everyone know how they can get in the ring with you and how they can rumble with you. Give them your information, please, man.
Yeah, now this is the part, Barrett, that saddens me. Because for the past 2 days, I've been talking to folks, and I've been saying, listen, if you just want to talk to me, you're under no obligation. You don't have to buy a thing from me. I'm okay. All you got to do is get on my schedule at bit.ly/bully call. And I'm surprised that there haven't been but a handful of people in Black CEO who've taken advantage of that. Not because I'm the guy who needs to be your coach, but I am the guy who went from homeless to paying off his house this year. I'm the guy who went from being unknown to being in Forbes in the span of 6 to 7 years. So if I had the opportunity to sit down with somebody, and I have, I've talked to Myron Golden, I've had audiences with Gary Vaynerchuk, I've talked to Tony Robbins. Like, I've been around captains of industry who have given me the game that I now put my own spin on, and I'm giving it to you. I have innovated at a different level because I let go of my preconceived notions. So I would hope that people would take advantage and come on through the bit.ly/bully call, or they would go to viralbully.com and get signed up, because that rate is going to double in the next 48 to 72 hours. I want people to be in a position to win, because what I don't want to see on the wall in Black CEO are a bunch of people asking questions that we could have answered, we could have solved. This morning show is a resource for people to take advantage of and get really good, like, on-the-ground practical applications of things that are going to revolutionize your business. I love fledgling businesses. I help fledgling businesses every single day. Last quick story, it'll be 20 seconds. I had a person who came to me, tears in her eyes, because she couldn't grow her plus-size lingerie business. Now she has the #1 plus-size lingerie business on the planet. And her name is Kelly Thomas, and in a bad month, she's making $50,000 a month. You know, her outfits have been featured in the Slut Walk with Amber Rose. She's been on TMZ, the whole schmear. And it only took one phone call. Are you one phone call away from revolutionizing your business, or are you too stubborn to take an ass whipping long enough to realize that maybe, just maybe, on the other side of that ass whipping is a recovery that will change the course of your life forever? bit.ly/bully call. That's all I got, man. That's all I got, man.
All right. Hey, hit him up. The man just told you. The man just said he called you to the carpet. He challenged you. Go out there and do it, man. Give the man a call. Give the man a holler. Let him work on your business and make you a success. He's giving his information to you. He don't need you, but you may need him. So let's go. Let's show Dave some love here on the show. Yes, sir.
No, that was Marsha. I think let me just address this. Dave, I think people may not be scheduling calls because you kind of threw down the gauntlet, man. Like back in the day when we were growing up and your mama or your grandmother said, go outside and bring me a switch. I'm just saying.
Hey, listen. If you don't listen, real quick, if you don't want to be a business owner, if you're afraid to fight, see, I don't mind. I used to tell people all the time, they thought I was crazy. I said, listen, I don't want to be the heavyweight champion of the world. They said, why? I said, I want to be the #1 contender. They said, why? I said, because if I'm the #1 contender and I get to fight Mike Tyson, he'll punch me in the mouth once and I'll walk away a millionaire.
That's right.
So, if you don't want to be the champ, cool. If you don't want to be in business, there's a cubicle waiting on you. But to be in business means you're going to get kicked in the teeth. You're going to lose. You're going to get your ass whipped. Either get in the ring or get in the cubicle. Those are your options. But don't play like you're a black CEO when you're really a black employee who's scared to death of getting punched in the mouth.
Ooh. And there he said it.
Want more exclusive content and business development advice? Log on to facebook.com/thebusinessbully.